Oh, bro, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, really. I really do appreciate that, if I could be 100% honest. Really appreciate that there, mate.
Absolutely. I'm talking about my boy Jeffrey. Have you ever smoked a Jeffrey?
Have I ever smoked a Jeffrey? Hello. I smoked plenty Jeffrey in my life before.
Yeah.
I think so.
Have you ever smoked a Jeffrey that fucked you in the ass?
Have I ever smoked a Jeffrey that fucks me in the ass?
Yes.
Damn.
A Prince Andrew.
Oh, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
I don't know if I smoked that one.
No, man.
Bro, so did you see the Epstein documentary on Netflix?
I did, bro. I did. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. And you know what's crazy? I mean, if I'm sure if you want to get into the topic, I'm super down. But what's crazy to me is that like he was an undercover dude, you know? He's not Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. And those people have the same amount of power or more power, actually more power than he does. And the shit that he got away with is just absolutely crazy. So I can only imagine what happens in the real life.
Well, I mean, if you want to be a professional dirtbag, that's the way to do it.
No, yeah.
You want to be on the low.
Dude, yeah. What was I mean, I know that I came personally a little bit late to the party as far as like watching it, but I didn't even realize what they were talking about.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else, bro. Damn.
Where was I gonna go?
Like, I got late to the party, but when I arrived, people said that Epstein apparently was fucking that girl. So I guess I couldn't tell you from my own eyes, but I did feel a weird vibe. That's where it could have went, bro.
Yeah, they were acting kind of weird by the snack table when I was there, so it's kind of weird.
You mean
Trump was on fire, though, I'll tell you that much.
That you knew about this late? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing was happening. He died.
I mean, I knew bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Because I first heard about it when the elections were happening,
Mm-hmm.
and then he killed himself or didn't. We don't know really.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy to me, bro, is that I don't know, maybe because I was too young then, or not really, but don't you feel that on the documentary they tell you about all this things that he had to take care of,
Mm-hmm.
like he went to trial for shit, and I guess because he wasn't like a celebrity, you never knew of it. Like nobody ever, I guess only the victims and shit.
Right.
I never heard of anything about him until like very recently.
Correct. I mean, I didn't hear anything that was happening locally in West Palm Beach, when I during that time. But when things were coming
too,
out,
right? In
Yeah.
Palm Beach, so crazy, so
Dude,
close.
so close. And I was in high school. Like the people who were, affected by him are our age technically, and that's kind of crazy. And that dude,
Like
every
I could
girl.
see myself back in the day, like, yo, Steven, I got this dude that wanna give you $200 for jerking him off. You down? I got homies that would have done that shit.
Yeah, we could. We did have a couple homies that probably be down for the 200 for the quick 200.
For the quick Hondo.
No.
And you could tell them no, it's for a massage, and they're like, I know what he wants.
Yeah.
But this guy, man, it was dirty what he was doing, right?
He's a dirtbag.
Because he would grab these girls, right? He just needed to get one high school girl.
That's it.
And then he's like, if you could get me more high school girls, then you also get 200. You get 200. You get 200. We're just giving them out.
Yeah. No, man,
Which if you take out what's happening, right? If you take that out as a business model, very great referral.
Oh yeah, no. If I
System,
were
you know
them,
what I
I
mean?
would look into probably doing something like Amway, or
No,
like that
no.
would be a good
I think
career
this
choice for
was.
these
I
girls.
think this was at a bigger level. Like, I mean, this guy. What up? You give me the same amount? I mean, that's a hell of a referral. I'm just saying. I'm
No,
just
yeah,
saying. Now you put in the context of what is horrible, disgusting.
for sure.
But sometimes my brain just goes business, and I'm like, oh fuck. I can understand why business wise it was appealing. On the documentary, you saw a lot of. I mean, this guy, yeah, he pretty much did a pyramid, right? A pyramid scheme
Yeah.
where he had this girl come to do massages, right? We know what the fuck that is, and for $200. But if she brought other girls, then those girls that she brought would get 200, but she would also get 200 for the referral, and he would tell that to all of the girls. So it became like a web of things, and apparently, if the girl didn't like it, like she went and she was like, "Oh fuck, this is not what I like," he was like, "All right, that's cool. Can you get me some that do like it?" And then the girl was like, "Fuck, I can still make money, but I don't have to do this disgusting shit that I didn't
Yeah.
want to." So they started bringing other girls, and it sort of became, in a very disgusting way. I mean, I don't support this at all, but it became like a perfect web of girls for him, because at the same time they were all incriminated in a way.
Yeah, they couldn't go anywhere.
Especially if they were over the age of 18. I really feel bad for the young ones. That, you know, there were some that were pretty old that you were like, yo, I'm
Yeah,
not
you
sure
should know
if that
better.
was like, I'm not sure if you knew what the fuck was going on. But the very young ones, that was fucked, you know? But
Yeah.
don't you think that part was crazy? Do you think he really meant to do this web of girls that were all incriminated and wouldn't want to tell on him because they were also doing some dirt? Or do you think that just happened accidentally and he was just,
Well,
you know?
he's really smart, dude. I mean, I don't know if it was intentional, but like, the fact that maybe he was said no to, but then he flipped it like from a sales perspective, because really that's a sales tactic, right? Oh, okay, you're not gonna buy, but can you refer me somebody who does? I mean, that was
Because he never got violent with them, which is like, whenever, again, I'm not defending this guy. I'm just trying to
no,
state
but
the fact. I'm stating the facts, but like, he was like a businessman. It's like, oh, you don't like it? All right, I understand. Can you get me ones that do like it?
right,
And I'll give you 200 for bringing them.
exactly.
If you were to turn around someone that just felt violated, that's the way. That's the only way to do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that he knew that what he was doing was wrong, obviously. But I mean, yeah, he probably then realized that first of all, these girls at the time are not mature enough or don't have the education enough to realize that they do have a leg to stand on should they report them, But then they're all coming from being young in high school, making money. Maybe they're in a bad spot. Maybe they have their own
From
insecurities.
families that maybe weren't teaching them. They weren't coming from the best
Good.
families.
Right.
Apparently, you had Palm Beach, which was the island, but then West Palm Beach, I didn't know this, has very rough areas.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. At least now I think it's a little bit better, but still, West Palm Beach was apparently not a good place for girls. A lot of white trash, not white trash, but like trailer park type of situation. That was mean. I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, it was very like.
You
it
know
is
what
what
the
it
fuck
is.
we mean, man. Come on.
Yes, yeah.
No,
You know what I mean.
we're Latinos. We're not against any race. We love everybody, but
Yeah,
that's sort of what that was called.
yeah. It was a slummy area, and so the guy, and what was even more crazy is like not only is he fucking twisted, but his chick is twisted.
Yeah,
Ghislaine
the chick is more twisted.
is more twisted because she's the
And
she's the one that makes it all cool.
And she's
Yeah.
free. I mean, we'll get to the end of it, but she's free.
Oh yeah,
She's came clean.
Dude.
Yeah, bro, that shit is crazy.
I
That
mean,
shit was crazy because she was the mastermind of getting these chicks.
And dude, I was just looking at, I was just thinking about him and like what happened on his island, and I just feel like although the documentary was super long, I mean, you know, because it was 4 episodes, so it was longer than any normal movie or whatever. There's probably so much more still to uncover, bro. That island had like temples on it, had like weird shit. I was like, yo, this is like
some freaky
uncovering
shit went on.
Yeah, oh yeah. I feel like he had people who were like into like the young girl thing, you know, like probably with the same idea of what people go to like Thailand for and things like that, but like, oh yeah, like right here in the Caribbean, you know, with like good old American girls or like London girls, you know.
American land, god damn it.
Yeah. but then you have like, I don't know, man, maybe there was even more like underground shit, like very private like meetings.
Do you think like, I mean, because it seemed like what they were doing is sleeping with this 16, 17, 18-year-old girls, right? And then older.
Yeah.
Do you think also shit went down with like younger kids?
I mean, like what, like under 12 and 13?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything is possible, bro. I mean,
Do you see a difference?
Kids disappearing. Kids were disappearing. Oh, yeah, no. That's. I think it's. I mean, obviously the kids who are under 13 and 12 versus kids that are under, 18, from like between 13 and 18 versus younger than that. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's different mindset, but I feel like it's equally as. It's more morally fucked up to go even younger, but it's equally fucked up to.
No, I'm not saying one is accepted and one is not. I'm saying, do you see a difference? Because I do.
A difference in what sense?
Meaning,
like, are you punishing?
If you're an older man and you're fucking a 16-year-old, that's one level of fucked up. If you're a grown man and you're fucking a 7-year-old.
Yeah, no, that's...
I put that in another level of fucked up.
Yeah. What's crazy?
I'm not saying that I accept the other. Of course not. I'm just saying, in my mind, I cannot lie to myself, and I recognize that has to be in another level of fucked up. And then if you fuck a baby,
bro,
then that's like in another level. I mean, don't you think there's levels to this shit?
Yeah, no, I mean there is, but at some point I don't know. At that point, really, like, that's not a fantasy. That's a power thing. That's you being evil.
Right, because this is what I'm trying to say. That's when this old men do it with like a 16-year-old, I still think in their fucked up mind, they are. The thing that makes them get like the thing that gets them on is the fact that this is a very young woman. That's still like a young woman, but it is a woman, I don't know if it was in the documentary or somewhere. There was some guy that said, in this state, we consider women to be women when there's 14 or 16 or some shit like that. I was just like, whoa, man, chills.
Well, technically, in Spanish culture, that the quinceañeras and the sweet 16s in American cultures, technically that is the turning point, right? That is... Right. Supposedly the turning point. Doesn't mean that.
All right. Let's say that there are some cultures that look at 15, 16-year-old girls as already being women, right? Going by that, which I still think is fucked,
Yes, correct.
I mean, if you're an older guy, if you're over 18, I don't know. My mindset was always on older chicks. So I mean, not older, but like my age or older, like. Maybe when there is a little gray area when you're 17 and you might be going out with like a 16-year-old.
Sure.
And then okay, but once you pass that gray area, why you want to be with a kid, you know? But in some cultures, I guess that's something that might be accepted. That's why I say that when it's with these chicks that are 15, 16, you could still argue it's still sick in my view, but you could still argue that the guy is doing it from a man to woman perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Once you go down to 12-year-olds and 6-year-olds, then I think that jumps a whole nother. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, for sure, 1,000%. I mean, that at that point, what are you really looking at? Like that's a child. That's not. There's no genetic possibility there for procreation. There's no anything, like they're not developed yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just evil at that point. You know, that's like legit, like demonic shit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there should be some pretty. I mean, there's should be harsh punishment in general for, like, you know, if you're trying to get with somebody, or if you do something like what Jeff did to people under the age of 18, and then there's like straight up execution, like like death penalty, if you do some crazy shit like that, you know.
Now, bro,
zero tolerance.
Of course, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Now, I do have some unpopular opinions regarding the documentary, and man, there were some chicks. A lot of them horrible what happened to him, but there were some chicks that I doubted. Like dude, like there was some chick that met him after she was like 22 or something. Some French girl, I think.
Oh yeah.
And like she was talking like, do you know I was being manipulated? He gave me apartment in Manhattan, and I had a car, and I had all this money to go around, and it's very hard to not do it. So it's, you know, it's like, yeah, life is hard.
Living in,
you know what I mean? If you don't want to suck a dick, you gotta work McDonald's. You know what I mean? I had to deliver pizza when I was a kid, so that, you know, I could have been blowing all dudes that were looking for some cute Latino teens. You know, I was a pretty cute guy back then.
A little nod to
right? No, but you feel me? Like,
yeah.
Like, I think it's fucked up that they blend some shit, because there's some like underage girls that you could tell that even though they became recruiters as well, they were in such a bad place in their life that you can understand how that just became their life. You know what I mean? And I understand that was abuse to them. But some of them that were older, it's like, okay, somebody takes you to a massage thing. You didn't like it because you understood this guy wanted to do some other shit.
Right.
Then that's it. You don't talk to the motherfucker no more. You report him to the police, and you don't ever talk to him anymore. Unless you still want to obtain the fruits of the labor.
Exactly. Well,
you know what I mean?
I agree with you. I'm just going to play a little devil's advocate. What happens if you think
I'm playing devil's advocate. You're playing the normality. Well, everybody's going to come at me.
Yo, for sure.
I'm the one playing devil's advocate, talking about how, like, no, it's this bitch fucking fault and shit. Nah, I don't want people to think I'm with the girls. I'm just saying, you could tell there was certain. Sketch. Okay, but yeah, go on. I think I'm explaining too much, and it looks worse. Go on.
No, I was just thinking, like, you know, what if after realizing, you know, like, you're like, oh my god, this old guy, yeah, like it's a soft sell, right? And she's like, oh, we're gonna go to a private island, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Then all of a sudden you get violated. You're like, oh shit, like this dude is legitimately like a scumbag. Like he hit me with a super slow sail, like Scientology style, you know, like close the door behind you. Style. You know, close the door behind you, and you didn't even realize it before it was too late. You turn around, you can't get out, kind of thing, right? All right. So then it's like, all right, if I go and I leave and I escape, you know, like, is he gonna find me? Is he gonna, you know what I'm saying? He has the resources. Yeah. He's got the money. So it's almost like a scare tactic. You know what I'm saying? And
if you were on the island, that's different. Well, the chick on the island, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying this French chick eventually made it out to this island. But then what I'm thinking is, that's when she had to figure out a way to escape to France or whatever, or wherever she is now. My thing is, if she was moved to New York and she's like a model that's getting everything paid for, and the guy doesn't touch her and doesn't like give those vibes until he's got you in a corner where you can't run, then what do? You know what I'm saying? Okay,
but what is that corner?
That
you're so comfortable with all the shit that he gives you?
Well, right, like the corner would be like the island, right? Once he's got you on the island, now you're fucked.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the island. When you're in the island, I'm talking about the same girl. That's a life or death situation.
But I'm talking about that same French girl, right?
Yeah, but eventually she wasn't in the island no more, right?
Right.
And she continued.
Did she?
And she lived in New York, didn't she?
Oh yeah. But I thought it was New York Island, and then she escaped. But it wasn't like straight up. No, it was a couple years. It had to have been a couple years where she was doing it.
Maybe I got it. If I got it wrong, my bad. But I heard part of the documentary. She said, it's so hard for me to leave because the heart department in Manhattan, some shit like that. So
no,
if that was stopping you to leave, then you know what's good.
Then you're a scumbag.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying is, if as a 15-year-old kid in my school, they told me, yo, there's this old dude that wants to get a massage and he's going to give you $200. First, I would have said, hell to the fuck no. I'm going to get raped. But let's say that I did go, because when I was 15, I was actually a supporter of the massage and therapy community, and I actually was into it. I was taking a few classes, and I was like, this is a great way to get some experience and be able to get a better job and have some curriculum. I was like, my mom always told me to, search for it, grab it by the bootstraps, so opportunity knocks, I'm going to go, right? So I go give this guy a massage. And when I start giving the massage, this motherfucker turns around and shows me his egg-shaped dick, and it's like, you gonna suck in that shit? I'm gonna be like, hell to the fuck no. Now, let's say I'm a kid and I'm scared, and a woman will be even more scared because they're a woman, right? But as a kid, you might feel the same scared because you're like, well, this guy could kill me too. You feel like a fourth, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I do suck the dick, right? Because I have to. Sucking is my only way out. Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I will suck the dick. I would leave this gentleman's house.
Oh, because he's a gentleman.
And I will never come back again. And that will be the end of my story with Mr. Epstein.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'll report him to the cops and all this shit. But I don't know. There were a lot of them that just ended up coming back. It's like, oh. And then there was one, bro, that fucked me up. There was one that, like, truly, like, one of the main ones. A painter, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And she apparently got raped by him, and then she was very young at the time, so she just kept doing it. And I understood in her part, it's like she was already being manipulated mentally since she was a child and shit. So, okay, I got it. That's fucked up. Not only sexual abuse, but mental abuse. So he had raped her recently, and then they were like in some place gonna have dinner, and then the girl that the teammate of Epstein, the girlfriend, is like, oh, I see a picture of your sister. You want to bring her by? And she was like, sure. At the time, I thought, it might be a good idea. Really? Because he just raped you. And your sister probably looks more of what he likes, which is younger.
Yeah. And
on that fucking dinner, the guy's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pay for your school in Barcelona or Madrid, Spain, and she went there. What do you think is gonna happen,
dude?
Another thing to tell everyone, okay? College ain't free. And if it's free, there's something weird on that shit.
You're paying for it.
No, I got a loan from... Yeah, you got a loan. You're going to be paying for your whole life. You're going to be paying for your whole life this fucking loan. And you cannot even file bankruptcy with this loan. So, no, it ain't free. And if it is free, then there's a dick you haven't sucked yet. I'm telling you, dog. In life, there's nothing like a free lunch. You got to work for everything. And when anything looks too good to be true...
It probably is.
It probably ain't.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That girl did catch me by surprise when I heard that. I was like, dude, the man has already taken you to his Santa Fe, New Mexico ranch and tried to cuddle bang you. And now you're going to send your sister in? Like some kind of WWE tag team?
Like, if you decide to continue being with this guy, that's your decision. But don't involve anyone else.
Especially your sister.
And so, you know, to be honest, man, on this podcast, I talk about the nuance and the way that I think about shit. And so if you think that what I'm saying is not defending the girl, that's not at all what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a piece of shit, and I'm glad that, you know, he is where he is. But all I'm saying is there's some nuance to the stories, you know?
Yeah. Do you think in the last couple minutes that we have here, do you think he killed himself? Or do you think...
I'll be honest with you. Before I saw the documentary and the whole thing about him dying came out, I was like, they definitely killed him. He had too much information. They definitely killed him. After seeing the documentary on Netflix, I can understand why he would want to kill himself too. Like, I could see him killing himself because he knew, like, this time they did get him for reals. He was going to go to jail for the rest of his life. He was going to be the pedophile that everybody... You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
There was no escape for him, so I think... I was like, oh, yeah, of course he would kill himself. And the thing is, the place where he was very underfunded. Most of the cameras didn't work. The people that needed to do the rounds didn't do them. So pretty much, I think they say that eventually Epstein found a moment where he was like, all right, nobody's watching, I'm going to kill myself. And I could see that happen as well, bro. And he did try to kill himself before. Dude, it could have been like this. It could have been that he tried to kill himself before and he wasn't successful. And then instead of them being vigilant of him killing himself again, the system is like, oh, whatever, we don't even have budget for this shit. And he ended up killing himself and the system fucked up. Or it could be that all that shit was planned out. Right. But I'm 50-50 now, where before I was like, nah, he didn't kill himself. Now I'm like 50-50 because I do see an argument for him taking his life at that point.
I'm going to say mine. I think that he's still alive, dude. I know it sounds crazy.
Damn.
I know it sounds crazy.
He's still alive?
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
I'll tell you something. That's not what I think, but that's my favorite one.
Yeah. I think he's alive because, the autopsy showed that his jawbone was broken, right? And that he didn't die from asphyxiation or that his choking, he died from the pressure caused back here, like that. Like I guess it was asphyxiation, but like his bone was cracked, and it didn't make any sense that was caused because of that, right? Then that if it was just that, then I'd be like, all right, well maybe they beat him up or something in jail. But then they had him in a room in Suicide Watch without the cameras working, without the guards watching. You know what I'm saying? He had so much information, and then 2 days prior, he knew he was going to die, so he moved all his money to the Cayman Islands. My question is, follow the money. Where's the money now? These are things that like only the higher.
Okay, but then how would he be alive?
Because he wheeled them out,
and
as a dead person.
Some other cadaver.
Yeah, or something. I mean, I just think because witness protection this shit happens in witness protection all the time. Like, were you gonna tell me that Jeffrey Epstein, who knew the Donald Trump and the Hillary Clintons, who didn't know? You know what I'm saying? They want him. They didn't want him.
To conclude, pretty much, this was the best witness protection program